right, here we go. Here we go. Let's get in here. Sure, we're running. I think we're running. I think we had this problem before. Yes. Anchor. Anchor. Come on. Isn't that awesome? Fuck. Yeah, we're not quite live yet. I need to sign on. As soon as my fucking computer wakes up. Should work. Should work. Here we go.
Fingers crossed.
Here we go. Here we go. Select stream. Now just chat. Here we go. Here we go. Let me just see if I'm on. We are live, Matt King. We are.
Wow.
We
did it.
We did it. Holy crap.
We did it, man.
Oh my God. I can't thank you enough. Just so everybody has a little insight to our exhaustion. At least I have exhaustion right now. Is from Turbo Pit Fighter, having guests on there. Jake and I have come to realize that Riverside is no longer going to be able to secure our platform for live streaming for 3 hours and having guests. So in my research, I found that we needed to return to what's called OBS VDO and VDO Ninja. Quite a setup, but it looks like I am set up. So we're doing just an inaugural, trying to figure it out and test it out. And so Jake couldn't make it, so I got the runner-up, Matt King. Matt, how you doing this morning?
Doing good. It's no longer morning, though. We did start this morning.
Oh,
now
it is 12:30.
It is afternoon.
It is officially now the afternoon. And if you don't know who Matt King is, it's a shame because he has secured volume 1 and 2 of his own. God, I call it a Bible. Calling it a graphic novel is just not keying in. It's got an amazing amount of people involved. This is volume 1, Tales to Enlighten. And you, sir, I'm hoping are going to give some maybe a little spoiler teasing to an upcoming project coming into. But also, just before we get, well, I've got like 100 million questions for you. The big one is Terrific Con. You're going to be going to Terrific Con. Have you been to big shows like that before? And do you really like them?
I'm not tabling there.
You're not?
No. I'm just gonna be there, like walking around and stuff. So.
Okay. Jake made it sound like that you were going to be
right. I didn't know. Yeah.
And I was like, that seems a little out of Matt. And what is he going to do with this table since you're sold out of issue 1?
That's right. I'm trying to get a reprint done right now, but I'm on everybody else's timetable. I've done all I can, and I'm waiting for a couple other moving parts still. So, before I can even place the order, I'm gonna play the variant cover gimmick game, a 1 in 10 cover by James instead of this great cover. I love this current cover, but I want James to have a cover, and and it'll be like a premium. It'll help pay for the print run.
Right.
And I'm doing that. I just looked into and purchased 10 ISBN numbers, so I can slap an ISBN number with a barcode on there, so stores can do their point of sale system thing there and do whatever they need to do. I guess that's helpful to everyone but me, who finds these barcodes rather expensive.
Are you using Bowkers?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now, make sure you're on their newsletter. Now, when you start getting their newsletters, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Do I really need this stuff? But there will be like some insight, because it is selling books through bookstore and vendors and libraries is very tricky. I'm still figuring it out. But I have to say that Bowker is a really amazing resource to educate and kind of like move you along. It's not a one-click done. I actually tried to use something like that through Lulu, which is called Global Distribution, and that was a big fail. But I have been making some headway. So just as a suggestion, make sure you get some of those newsletters from Bowker. And take a moment, because it'll kind of put things in perspective.
Have you purchased ISBN numbers for?
All my books.
All my books. I guess Crom does. Yeah.
Yep. And I'm heading back to after I get Crom Anthology 2 and 3 out. I'm going to actually be heading back to the library, the Gardner Francis Fox Library. And because I do want to, I have a lot of books like the Kothar books, all the Sword and Sorcery books are. They're kind of like temporarily covered, like I need to do the art for the covers, or they're not even ISBN. It was just me trying to figure out what I was going to do and how I was going to do it, and the family kind of getting involved to a point and moving from there. But I think it's a very professional way of being seen more. Than just hey, I got a comic book here. Do you want to buy it? That.
Right. How many numbers did you buy? Did you go?
I got the 10.
100.
I got the 10, but I am going to go for the 100 because the library is 156 books. But I'm for me to do the cover illustrations and illustrate inside them. It's going to be a long time to get through 100.
Sure.
I think it'll be fine. Just kind of moving along that, as well as other books that I'm publishing under the Crom publishing imprint. So
right. I mean, you and Jake will buy a separate 10 or something to use for Turbo, or you won't do it, or what's the deal there? haven't got that far yet.
The conversation is still like. I refer to it as like being in scene mode. We're trying to put something together, which right now we're days away Sundays away, I should say, from getting Dune Mags #1 out there.
Only 40 more Sundays to go.
But you think of it mathematically, it's like 40 days. It's just
I get it.
6 days in between these days. But no, we're really locking in. But once again, I would like to have us be a lot more kind of business designed. But he has. He has this kind of concerns about like how far are we really going to be able to take all of this, and once you get into LLCs or corporations and all this, you're just spending a whole lot of money for what kind of result. So
right.
I think the one suggestion I made, and Jake didn't agree or disagree, was that the Gardner Francis Fox Library could run a Hell Claw imprint. So it would kind of move underneath the library for at least the duration of what, you know what I mean? Like where it's really, and this is something I think you can really talk to it as well, because you've got, that's my next question. But there's something about wanting to be professional, and then there's something about being realistic, especially in the comics game, the industry itself.
Right.
And you got to kind of fine line it and tune it. But one of my next questions, like for you with the Tales, especially the first one, you did a Kickstarter, successful, got you funding, 1,000 books were printed from that. How many books were sent immediately after that Kickstarter to the backers?
Oh, to backers? There was like I want to say there was 531 backers, but a certain number of them were just digital only.
Digital,
so,
all right.
But I mean, probably almost half of them,
So like 200,
500.
500
No,
physical.
it's-
No,
yeah,
500.
Yeah, it's got it.
500 physical books were shipped out by you.
Yeah.
And then the next 500 were basically selling through shows, right? Or online orders?
Basically online through my Etsy store.
Okay.
And then the last bunch went through Power Pulp.
Okay. So then, like I said, another 500 you were able to move for over what?
Mm-hmm.
3-4 years through.
So the Kickstarter was in 2020, and I think we started shipping in the beginning of 2021.
Right.
So 5 years.
Yeah, because and that's like I think it's a major accomplishment to have a successful Kickstarter that was able to fund 1,000. This is 300. This is almost 400 pages, right?
312.
312. Okay, 300 on that, and then in 5 years, move them all to go to a reprint.
Yeah, I'm plenty pleased for sure.
I mean, serious congratulations. Like, that is,
I mean, I would have liked to keep it more punk rock and not ISBN it,
Sure.
But it seems like stores are requesting that, and just trying to make it easier for everybody. If you flip the book over, there's a little, I think I'll just take the Tales, the logo there in the bottom right, and just take that out, slap the barcode right in there.
Yeah, usually they like it. It kind of floats right in. There, that area. Now, when you're saying stores, you are speaking comic book stores, because Power Pulp, they're making the purchases, so that there's the point of sales in the store that makes it easy for them to just scan that instead of go, we have to manually enter.
Right. Because I don't even have a price on that thing anywhere. No.
Which is actually kind of smart. Because then
that's what I was thinking. But now a store orders it. They have to go back and look at what they pay for wholesale, what they want to charge, blah blah blah.
Well, they in inventory wise, if you put this is $40, correct?
Yeah, it was 45 by the end. It started at 40.
But you had to go to 45 because that half split, that 50-50 between you and the retailer, is covering costs, giving you a little profit, is giving them another $20 and $22. Well, you know what I mean, quote unquote profit from purchasing it that way. But that in that inventory, if they see $45, they know they spent half of that.
Right.
That type of thing. And then if you do have the UPC code, once again, it's now entered into their inventory, and it goes from there. It's the number one reason a comic book store will turn you away when they look at your book. Like I just went to see a guy. I just went to see a guy, and I knew he wasn't going to pick him up. I was actually just. It was based on a mutual friend of ours saying, he wants to meet you and stuff like that. So I brought my stuff and everything. And of course, he's not into independent per se. But when he took a look at my book, no price, no UPC. So he was like, yeah, I'll kind of hold off right now and everything. But maybe we can, blah blah blah. But I just knew because of the way I had it laid out, punk rock style, as you said.
Right.
It goes from there. So, do you want to talk about what's coming down the road? Because there's a couple of fun things. Tease us.
Sure. I started a new Instagram account that I haven't really shared out there yet. Like there's only two followers, so nobody knows about it yet.
Okay.
It's called Bad Wormhole, and that is the title. That's the title of the upcoming series of magazine-sized issues from myself and Daniel White, who is Birds in Boxes on Instagram. So we've been kind of scheming this for a little while, and we get together on Zoom to kind of talk things over and just get our general sense of direction. We've been recording these Zoom meetings, so I think the plan is to kind of imitate Making Turbo Pit Fighter with with our show Building Bad Wormhole. But it's not going to be an exact copy of yours because it's like previously recorded.
That's how we started.
It's going to be edited down. It's going to be 45 minutes to an hour, not a marathon session of what Jake picked up at Newbury Comics, which he's supposedly showing on screen, but all you can really see is his hands or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
So this is the
exactly.
Love him.
Exactly.
Love you, Jake. Love you, Jake.
Of course,
no shade.
I wouldn't watch it if I didn't love it.
Exactly.
So I've told you plenty of times I watch it at 1.5 speed. The commute's only so long. So.
Oh man. Yeah. Now that's really exciting news. It's something Jake and I have been bewildered in one sense that when we started over 4 years ago, we were hoping people would just pick up on it because it's a logical thing. Like you're the writer, and then you have an artist you're collaborating with, whatever that means, whether you're paying that person, whatever the behind the scenes is. But to have that bantering back and forth, not only just in the technical performance of making the comic, but as Turbo Pit Fighter does our show, Making Turbo Pit Fighter. We have a guest that can come on. Jake loves the whole comics that influence, and digging into books, and we talk about shows. But the premise is for us, it's me going to Jake's house and just hanging out with them like we all did as kids. At least that's what I'm assuming. Right. It was a very big thing growing up where it was the hangout and watching televion and playing Dungeons and Dragons, and reading comic books and all that kind of stuff. But it was also when we got back from the comic book shop. The books would literally go into a big pile amongst us. And some of us were writing and drawing comics, some of us were drawing them, some of us were writing, and it was just a great time. And so that's, I think, one of the things. And knowing you, and having you on as a guest, I think it's going to be really cool. This new thing.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I like what you guys do, and we're, you know, right now we've only so far just kept it strictly about what's, you know, it's filled with spoilers. So if anybody is, you know, and I'll put that at the beginning of every episode.
Sure.
Like, if you don't want to be spoiled, don't follow, you know, because there's no way to make this comic without talking about, you know, how I'm seeding things in, how things are going to pay off later, etc. But I mean, the idea is, you know, we'll do the live split screen and you share the screen. I've got a whole Miro board set up with all sorts of reference and just stuff we talk about. His art was, you know, of course, but we're thinking about he's going to figure out some sort of rig where he can record him drawing something or the part of the page or inking or etc. And then we just time lapse it over our conversation too. So, you know, you don't have to stick around for the whole 3 hours to see. But
and
yeah,
I mean, you're editing it. You're editing it all.
That's the plan. I haven't done one edit yet. So
okay, so you've been doing the recording. You were saying
just
zooming
right
in,
now. I've got
you got your raw files, and then you got a thing. Yeah, and then you even said DaVinci Resolve. You're using the free version, and I sent you a link to a guy that's pretty much the most solid YouTuber that gives quick, like. He has quick videos to get you up and moving on said how-tos, but then he has like deep, like 20+ minute like color wheel, you know, color balance and stuff and things. So he's really great. I'll put a link down below, you know, for people if they're interested in that. And
that was the guy. That was the guy that did like he's like a guitarist or in a band or something.
Yeah. He's got the beard, and long hair. Yeah. I just keep forgetting his name.
That's the first one I watched, and then I kind of went down the rabbit hole and watched another half dozen. It seems like something I should be able to get a handle on. I mean, that's how I made a lot of DJ mixes using a very similar kind of audio software, you know. So I just assume this is just one more step into that, but we'll see.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm definitely not the most technically proficient clown around, but I will. I'm gonna give it a whirl and. You know, I think even if it's a small audience, it's building your kind of fan base, quote unquote fan. You know, probably reader base is probably the better way to put it.
Right.
I don't really need any fans.
Right. No. I think that's also that's kind of the difficult thing I'm sort of facing in just like in a personal way. Like, for instance, you know, I just picked up these two. These
yeah, I saw you posted. Those look great.
These things are just. I mean, this guy's channel. It's Isaac Horn, but he goes by Level 9 Drow, and he has a YouTube channel. 9 is spelled out NINE. But I've been watching him for months, almost maybe a year. I'm thinking where he does his page. Basically, is inking. But it's speed inking, and you know, so it's only about 15 minutes. But his soundtrack is completely aligned with my taste in music. So it's a double pleasure. And it's actually quite disappointing when it's only 15 minutes long, and I gotta wait for the next page.
So it's like a time lapse.
It's a time lapse. Yeah, speed.
Okay, gotcha.
The speed paint, speed draw, speed ink, whatever.
Okay. And the soundtrack is copyrighted music. Like I never know how that plays out. You know?
You can like you can edit music into, and he is, and I'm actually like aping his total thing for the Crom. I'm a little burned out on doing live streams and talking and drawing at the same time, trying to get my pages done, trying to have topics to talk about. So I'm gonna kind of ape the same way that he's going about it. But you can in YouTube once it's I publish it privately, and then you can go to the editor, and then you can go to their audio tab, and then you can go through mood, genre, length, you know, all that kind of stuff, and it's all copyright, appropriate. It's not free per se because however somebody's getting paid because it gets played happens, but he's using like I'm even trying to steal the same songs and use them because I just love, it's a breakbeat, EDM, trip hop, techno. It's just it's dancey but hip hoppy, but dark kind of thing, which is completely aligned with Pulp Midnight Pulp.
I mean, whatever these bands are that sign off that you can use this music, they can't like change their mind later and like wreck your video, can they? Or can they?
Oh gosh.
You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden
I think it's done through probably a licensing agency. So there would be a lot of hoops you would have to jump through in order to get the agent.
Get it taken down.
I mean, I don't think it's a 1-to-1. I don't think YouTube would want to deal with a 1-to-1 type of thing.
Okay.
So I think it's definitely going to be one of those type of things. But my point about Isaac's comic and thing, and feeling sort of the way I have been lately about like building a quote unquote following or / fan base. When I got these books and I've been kind of barking about them and I'm making little reels and the worst performance in a reel I've had in months. Now I don't know if it's because I'm flipping through stuff that definitely comes across as inappropriate. You mean, like mature content. But I just don't know if like people have become so desensitized by just seeing things. Oh yeah, look at that! It looks like because one of the reasons I got attached to Isaac's work is he's really blending the East and the West. I mean, it's Tim Vigil meets just any old action, manga. I mean, but it's just beautifully orchestrated, and I get completely baffled how something like this, other than the mature, comic book stores don't really want to cop. I understand all of this, but if you're out there looking for stuff, like this, I don't know how and where you don't do any better.
Well, you have to. I mean, I don't know what his audience is, but it's a grind. It's a constant. You gotta beat that. You gotta beat the hell out of that drum, man.
Yeah.
But I love that you guys do the comics that influence and the creator interviews, and that's something that I might bring in later. I've already talked to some people about kind of creator interviews to fill in, like in between the weeks when we don't release one of Daniel and I, something like that. So
right.
Yeah, I love the idea of the show. I know you've been saying for years you can't understand why nobody else is doing it and stuff, and it's always something I wanted to do. So I was just kind of spinning my wheels the last few years on this project. So
no, it was just I think it's perfect for somebody like you. You'll also find it generates a huge amount of like motivation. You know what I mean? Like the best deal that's come out of Jake and I doing every Sunday for 3 hours is we get something done every Sunday at 3 in those 3 hours. Plus,
sure.
It's the end of the week and you're kind of tired but usually by the time we're finishing up the session, I am so jazzed. I'm just like, this is amazing. Like, I can't believe we got this far, or this is happening, or we're getting there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just and once we do have comics to actually show that, I think that'll be a next level thing. I keep
hell yeah, sure.
I keep saying to Jake, but it's
I asked Jake, but you guys think you'll have Doom Mags #1 in time for September's IC3 in Providence?
Yes.
Good.
Tomorrow will probably be our last time using Riverside because I still have to get confidence in working out the kinks, which once again can't thank you enough for spending 2.5 hours, all the things that we've gone through. But we are down to really tomorrow. I'm going to be banging the drum for him to send the only files I need are the turbo pages, which is 8. turbo pages instead of 6, which means we'll only have 8 more pages to get us to the end of issue 1, which we'll be going directly into.
So you need 8 more of his pencils?
No. I need the lettering pages to start making the dummy, because I told him that I want to use a couple printers in order to make some dummy copies and then have an open kind of conversation, because we're also thinking like, well, maybe we should go the like 500 books or 300 250 book print route, you know what I mean? Because why not? But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, maybe sitting on 250 books for 5 years, or it's like,
right.
It's a really kind of like tough thing.
You have to get the prices and put them all out and pros and cons and figure out what, I know Jake is frugal.
Cheap.
Maybe is the word.
He's a cheap motherfucker. He's a goddamn cheap motherfucker.
You have to try some different printers. But that Saboteur Comics there, he put me onto this place in China that I'm definitely.
I'm waiting for you to get yours. I'm waiting for you to get yours.
I haven't even. Yeah.
So you have that whole like.
Yeah, I was saying I can't wait to order the stuff. It's just I'm in a holding pattern with getting a new cover and then getting my brother to squeeze out a couple new pages, ad pages kind of stuff, promo stuff for the back, and then sit down with my other guy Travis, who got the whole print file for me ready last time, and I have like, a dozen little edit things I want to change, like where maybe it was a typo, maybe it was a word balloon was too high or too low. Just a couple, I'm not going to say they were quick fixes, but I want, if I'm going to go back to print, I may as well fix these things now,
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully the price doesn't change between what I got, 45 days ago and 30 days from now, so we'll see what happens. But it was super reasonable, and printing a book like that size was just
so you're just daunting, you're waiting on a proof copy.
I'm not there yet. I gotta do all these edits first before I submit it for a proof copy. But I mean, part of me doesn't even. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to them and see what that would entail, how much that is, how much time that's going to put onto the whole thing. But I'm going to run a very modest Kickstarter for the second print, and just I'm going to set the goal at $666 and let it fly.
Nice.
And hopefully I could. I would love to be able to pay for the print run with the Kickstarter, but if not, it's at least some money going towards it,
Yeah. And you're getting the support. I mean,
right.
You're leaning into the support that you have. Why not? I was actually today. Go ahead.
I've had a few people, since Power Pulp is out of stock. We're out of stock of this book. Asking, when's it coming back? Blah blah blah. So it's not like there's zero demand, but of course the Kickstarter is, it's going to be going to mostly people who've already supported, who don't need the book, I mean, so it's going to be trying to find that new audience is going to be tough. And part of it, that's part of the gimmick of having a James Edward Clark variant cover too, is, maybe some of these readers that I have that really love the book are interested in having a variant cover or having James's cover, or,
But you're also not running all of the pinups, right?
Correct. That's another thing. Yeah.
So that's like 100 pages less.
Right. So that book is 312 pages, and this version is going to be 200. So I'm going to skip out. I'm going to bring it down from 100 and something pinups down to 20. you know.
Nice, nice.
I mean, the James's story, I think, is 160 pages or something, or maybe a few more than that. And then there's a couple interstitial pages at the beginning I want to save. There's some interstitial pages at the end I want to save, and then I'll put the 20 pinups and then like a power pulp ad and an ad page that shows James's other books and my other books that are available, and call it a day, you know.
Nice.
But I mean, I got pinups in there from, you know, Matt Allison, Jim Mahfood, you know, Ken Landgraf. I want to keep that kind of, you know, I want to, I mean, in a very exploitative way, I want to use that to push this thing again, you know?
Sure. It's completely understandable.
Yeah.
We all understand.
I mean, there's plenty of, you know, of the 80 other pinups that aren't going to get reprinted. It's a shame because I love each and every one of them. And, I would love to like put it all back together, but you know, I knew going into it that printing a 300-page book was insane and not the smart business move, but I just wanted, this is what I envisioned and this is what I got. And now, you know, the people that got the Kickstarter version, that's the only time that's ever going to be those 1,000 copies. That's what it is, you know. There'll never be that version again.
I think that's really incredibly smart. It's something that I don't know. I know at my age, because I'm 56 years old, I know pretty much everything that Jake and I are doing. I don't know if we'll ever really see 20 years from now the impact our work will have, because comics has this sort of like generational type of thing, like like Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age. You like there's the 90s, the early 2000s. You know, there's this sort of like stylistic template. Now Jake and I don't really hang in anything other than like just being outsider artists in some rights to the way that we're working and making stuff. But there's going to be something where there's going to be triggers down the road that cause people to lament on whether they would be able to get or afford a Tales of Enlightenment first print for their collection, especially with the growth of indie comics, as it goes on down,
right,
moving forward and stuff like that. But you don't know. But I still think it's better than. Well, no, I wouldn't say it would be better than having to track down a bunch of floppies and the trade. I just think it's a great. Like I said, it's way more Bible based. Like looking for other artists. This is like the fastest way for me, other than obviously Instagram. But you still have to navigate all this sort of crap. But you get into something like this, and you go, okay, 050. 55. You go to the. Is that here?
It's the other end, the front end.
It's the front of it.
Yeah.
So then I can find.
Yeah, you went too far now.
There we go.
There you go.
55. Renzo Rosado, Florida. Then it has a Tumblr account. So if I want to find more art with this, or maybe even try to get. Collaboration with him or pin up from him or something. I just and then you have it in the section. So I mean, the value I think is far greater. Will be far greater than we could recognize as it goes down the way. Because you're changing for it's down the wormhole. You said
a bad wormhole.
Bad wormhole. That you're going to go to like a floppy magazine.
Right,
consecutive issues kind of moving out that way.
It's envisioned as a 23-issue miniseries, not miniseries, but like a series made up of 3 different miniseries. So it's like 7 issues, and 9 issues. Is the idea. Magazine size. The first 7 are black and white, outlaw comic style, heavy on the inks kind of thing. Hyper violent, sexualized shit, and then everything changes after the 7 issues, and we start to introduce color into the next set, and then stuff changes again after another 7 issues. But of course, that's way down the line. I wrote the first script in 2024. I wrote the second script in 2025, and I wrote the third script like a week or two ago. So it's definitely a long range project.
Which is good to have like a layout, like a plan, right?
Yeah.
And then
sure.
And then obviously you have somebody that's going to have a visual contribution. So that then becomes.
Oh yeah,
hard,
I mean,
because then when you start seeing things, you're like, oh shit, we shouldn't do that. We should go and do this, right? Oh yeah, that's
right.
That's why I drew it like that.
More of a living document where things can change. But yeah, it starts off as a very kind of 1980s. The idea is it's like a lost 1980s black and white explosion kind of book from like 1986, and it's but it's magazine sized. Aliens not invaded. They invaded the Earth at Woodstock in 1969. Kind of charm. They have like some sort of charm or magic or science thing where 90% of the humans fall right in line with what they're given, and there's 10% that doesn't. And we meet this gang of kids that are out. It's almost like post-apocalyptic, the way the world's kind of fallen apart after they've sucked the resources dry. So the kids are out looking for weapons and guns. I say kids, they're like 19, 20, looking for drugs and weapons, and they end up finding this weapon, this hybrid cyborg, part human, part alien, part AI computer, all in one body that's like been made to destroy these aliens. And it can time travel, and as my buddy would say, then hijinks ensue.
Yeah. Oh, I love time travel. Become more and more obsessed with it.
So
no, looking forward to it.
But it's been fun. You really have to think ahead what's going to happen at the end and how you can seed everything, in these earlier issues and tie it all together. So, and who knows if we'll ever make it to 23 issues, but that's the idea, man. That's the idea.
Cool. Well, look. I really wanted this to be all about you, because of you spending
as it should be.
But I also want to let you go. I also want to take the rest of the day off, having got through the day, got OBS up and running. And one of the major reasons Jake and I are moving beyond just aging out of. Or technologically moving away from Riverside, which is a great platform, by the way, everybody. If you want to do something highly professional and it has AI and it has, the editing capabilities inside is magnificent. And I only scratched the surface of it, but not really needed for us. It is, we want to kind of create a little bit more. I dare say educational, influential stuff. In other words, like the thing that we always miss in opportunity, going back to the Power Pulp launch that was just getting through the skin of our teeth, and me doing a lot of heavy editing, was to be able to jump onto the website while you're live streaming. And being able to check things out, you know what I mean, like Power Pulp and what have you, that type of thing, as well as creating Jake has a lot of PowerPoint presentations about comics from school that he's been teaching over the years. So we've been trying to figure out how to. So now we're supposedly going to have that ability. So the show will get a leveling up. Beyond just Jake and I just camera side by side, and then having somebody jump in at the halfway point, join us, and go from there. But that's the next. I'm going to give myself about a month with Turbo, and using Crom too to really just get. I just got to get the muscle memory down. Learning for me is way more about doing something over and over again. And so once
Right.
I have that confidence,
I get you.
it'll be so much easier to have like guests just jump on. And it doesn't have to be for a long time. It could literally be like, reaching out to a couple people in the morning and saying, hey, Alex, hey, Matt, hey, so if you want to jump on at some point, just to give a shout out. You know what I mean? Like, hey, guys, I'm over blah, 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 Thursdays doing.
Love it.
So
I love it. Yeah,
we're looking forward to that. But Matt, thank you so very much. If you want to give any information on where people can find you, how to find you, where to get.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram all over the place. I got a personal account, King Megatrip 23. I have my Tales to Enlighten page, Tales to Enlighten. I have Bad Wormhole now, Bad Wormhole. I have, and then you can buy my books and zines over at powerpulpcomics.com.
Awesome.
So that's where I'm at.
All right. Well, thanks for the update, and we'll see you soon again.
Thanks, Kurt. Are we still here?
I think we are. We were not able to reconnect.